Recently, I decided that I wanted to print my very first photo book. So I decided to share the whole process with you guys and make a series of videos going over from start to finish how I get from the idea of printing a photo book to my finalized actual book. So let's just jump right in. The first thing that I had to do was decide if I was going to self-publish this book or if I was going to look for a more traditional route. And I right off the bat chose self-publish. So these videos are all going to be relevant for anybody who's wanting to self-publish a photo book. The reason why I chose to go with self-publishing is, well, the main reason is because I have always had a lot of control over my own projects, and that's something that I wanted to have with this project as well. The content of my photo book is very personal, and I wanted to make sure that it was completely stayed authentic to me and my experiences and my art. So if you're going to go with a traditional publisher, you're going to be reaching out to other people. They, of course, then have the say, or at least some say, over design, layout, these kinds of things. And I really didn't want to have any outside influences. However, if that's something that maybe you feel like you want or need guidance on, then maybe self-publishing isn't for you, and you might want to look into trying to find a publisher for your book. Other factors that I took into account when deciding to go with self-publishing is the fact that this is more of a personal project. I'm really not trying to become like a bestseller or anything like that. For myself, it was about, putting the work out there and maybe connecting with other people that had similar experiences to the topic that my photos are around. I'm not as worried about marketing and distribution. It's more about completing this project, which the whole photo series I started with the intention of ending it with a book or some kind of gallery showing or some kind of wrap-up piece that brought it all together. So if that relates to you, that might be something that you're thinking of as well. Or if that doesn't resonate and you do want to, become a bestseller, then maybe you want to also find that professional help moving forward. So all of that to say, I just want to make sure that this is the right content for you, because it's going to end up being very specific. Self-publishing a photo book, if you're trying to write a novel or anything like that, I'm sorry, there might be some information in this video and videos going forward, but probably not a whole lot that's going to relate to you. Before deciding which company I wanted to go with my self-published book, what I did is I sat down and I wrote out everything that I felt like I needed in a book or in the services without even really looking at what was out there. And this is going to be different for everyone, but like I said, this was very much a niche project book for me. It's a very personal project. And what mattered to me a lot was quality. I wanted a very nice finished book with high-end papers, good printing. It's a photo book, so I want the images to turn out very well. These kinds of things mattered to me, and less about the cost. But that doesn't mean that it's not affordable, right? Like, I still wanted to have it affordable, but quality was really high up on my list. Other things included the fact that I wanted a square format book, because all of the photos I took were cropped into a square format, and I really wanted to see this book be square with a full bleed, no borders, nothing like that I had to fiddle with at all. It's just the page is the photo. It's just straight up front in your face. That's plain and simple. And so being able to find a company that had square books was also very high on my list. Now, all of my images are in black and white, so I did not need to have a color printer. So I made note of that. And then the last thing that was on my must-have list for a company is that it needed to be easy to use. So a company that provided templates, things like this, because realistically, publishing books isn't my skill set. This isn't something I've ever done before. And I wanted to be able to actually complete it. And if it was too techie involved, I didn't want to give up because it was beyond my skills. So these were kind of my must-haves. Your must-haves are going to be different. Write down all of the things that are kind of your must-haves, and then you're ready to start looking at the different companies and seeing who's a good fit for you. So because the book that I'm wanting to self-publish is a photo book, I actually found that immediately limited the amount of companies that I could go with. In my Googling for self-publishing companies, I came across a lot of companies that are doing ebooks and paperback novels, the written kind of material. And while a photo book can have some written material, it's mostly based about the images. So moving forward, I was easily able to narrow down my choices right off the bat, and you'll probably find that if you're producing a photo book as well, you're going to find the same thing. So after all of my research and looking at different websites that offer different services and pricing things out, I decided to go with the company Lulu.com. So Lulu is a self-publishing website. You upload your book, you can upload your cover. It doesn't have to be photo books, but they can do photo books. They have a wide selection of papers and qualities and cover options, these kinds of things. And they checked all of the marks as far as being able to have a square book, being able to print on a high quality paper, having my images full bleed in black and white. All of these things I was able to do with Lulu. Plus the added bonus, they were actually the most affordable option that I found. So I was pretty happy to see that Lulu matched everything that I needed, but also had some other stuff that I liked, because who doesn't enjoy an affordable book? Aside from all of that, they also do things like distribution. Lulu has their own bookstores, so they can sell your book on their website. You don't have to, you can simply just print the book and have your own copy if you want to, but I did want to make this book available to people that maybe did want it, even though marketing and selling isn't really where my main focus is. Lulu is a print on demand website. So basically, you don't have to buy 50 copies and hope that people will buy 50 copies. They will only print it when somebody purchases it. So you're not going to have to come up with a bunch of money up front, which I super duper loved. And this is just for their online sales, of course. If you wanted to make in-person sales, I would recommend probably buying a few copies for yourself. However, with their online stuff, somebody will order the book, then they print the book and they ship it out. And there's a couple of ways they do this. So like I already mentioned, Lulu has their own bookstore. People can go there and buy books, and they also are partnered with other distributions. So through those channels, they've got you covered. You don't really have to do any of the behind the scenes work. They already just have that stuff there, and if it sells, they print it and they ship it to that person, and then they just send you your portion of the money. Of course, Lulu takes a cut, because what company doesn't? But it's still pretty affordable, and you're only paying when you make money, which I think is awesome. The other thing that I'm not going to be doing though is Lulu Direct. So what you can do if you have your own website that you would like to sell the book off of directly your own website, and set up a page and have, buy now kind of thing, you can do that with Lulu, and your customer won't even know that you published through Lulu, because they're just going to your website. And then while Lulu still prints and drop ships it, they don't necessarily put any of their branding on it, and it looks super pro. So that I was really excited about that, and I originally wanted to go with that route. However, there's a couple limitations there that just didn't fit for me. They have a couple ways of setting this up. 3. They have WooCommerce, which is a plugin for a WordPress website. So if you have a WordPress website, you can use the WooCommerce plugin to accomplish this task. Or you can use Shopify. They've also partnered with Shopify to do this. It's like a paid subscription thing. So there is a cost associated with opening a Shopify just to sell your book, which was part of the limitation for me, is that I didn't want to pay another subscription just to offer this one book. I don't have an entire store. I'm not selling multiple books. I don't sell anything else on my website in that manner. So it didn't make sense for me to open a Shopify store specifically for this book. So if that is something that you do or have a Shopify store, or you want to open one and offer multiple products, or you're totally fine with paying a subscription just to sell your one book, then that's totally an option for you. It's just not a route that I decided to take. Or their third choice is something called an API, and it required some coding to get this communication between Lulu and your website so that your website could sell it easily through Lulu. And I looked into that, and I read all of their information, and I realized that that's beyond my skill level. I don't know how to go into my website and attach this API thing just to sell a book. So while that would have been the more affordable route versus Shopify, it was beyond my skills. I asked my brother, who knows more techie things than I do, if that was something that he would be able to do, and he was like, I don't know. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm not going to push that, and I will just have maybe a page on my website that says, you can order my book now, blah, 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 and then the link to the Lulu bookstore. And while it's not ideal, like I said, I'm not trying to make my mark. That was just a compromise that I decided to go with. It's not the end of the world. If I have to send people to other website to order my book, I would still be making the same money. It just doesn't look as professional, in my opinion. So once I decided to use Lulu, my next step was to sign up for an account, which was free, and start taking a look at their templates and all of their instructions, and check out their blog and all the resources that they have there, because I wanted to know what I was doing. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys that whole process of signing up with Lulu and taking a look at the different price calculator to see how much your book's going to cost, these sorts of things, checking out some of the options that they have, and the process of just kind of navigating the website. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you're going to be making a photo book like I am, then you can follow along with me and we'll do it together. It'll be lots of fun. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.